Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to the episode of Nimby Rails where we are building our very own New York transportation network. And last episode we did some big expansions. We come away from Manhattan and we've now started to expand more into Brooklyn, which is looking really good. Only problem is I'm now charging gazillions of dollars because, you know, things are expensive. But everybody wants a refund right now. If I slow this down slightly, refunds are popping up here, there and everywhere. Now, the reason I charge so much money is because it was quite expensive to build some of these lines and to buy the trains for them, but I've since found a more higher capacity train for a lot less money. So I don't really need to charge as much, which I'm hoping I can slightly reduce the prices and we can slowly get rid of some of the refunds. It's not looking too good, is it? It's not looking too good. But before we do all that anyway, there's a couple of things I want to do today. I want to try and build a couple more lines, at least two more lines. One that goes directly through Brooklyn into, I believe this area's, no, there's Queens, through Jackson Heights and that kind of stuff, into Manhattan, and then another route going from Queens directly up in towards the Bronx area. Now, we're going to try and slowly do this. We got these two additional platforms that we built within our train station. We learned how to do additional lines kind of crisscrossing over one another. So hopefully everything's going to lead to JFK. I know we do have LaGuardia Airport over here that we can maybe try and implement somewhere along the line by bringing another line that cuts through all of this at the top. So we're going to try and make Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and hopefully the Bronx eventually become super connected. Now, if you are enjoying this series, boys, I want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. So, let's take a look at these lines in general right now anyway. So in terms of accounting, you can see that the refunds, I've had $17 million in refunds right now over its, is this its whole period? Is this not on the day, right? Over its lifetime? Over its lifetime, oh my goodness, over its lifetime, $133 million in refunds. That's not good. It's not good. It really is not good. We've had 17 million today alone. So let's take a look at this then. Let's kind of see what's going on. So I know I'm charging $50 for the base price. I won't charge anything for kilometers, and we'll charge $5 solely for the ticket price. Now I have a little bit of fast forward to get some time to tick along slightly. Are we still seeing refunds coming in? We kind of are. Maybe I don't know. Is $5 too much? Is it $3 I should be charging? Let me add that in right now and have a little bit more of a fast forward. More time is now fast forwarded. We're still getting refunds. I don't really understand the whole aspect of the refund situation. But in terms of the state of the accounting, it would mean that the refunds would be less because the ticket price isn't as much. But I would like to know what constitutes as a refund. I mean, I feel like they are also complaining a lot less. We'll keep an eye on the green. So I've done it to the green route only, and we'll keep our eye on that green route. Right, so let's take a look then at extending some lines. So I want to build two lines going across this way. And I want to build a line that goes from Staten Island in, crossing all those new routes that we're going to build as well, and probably terminate and end in Queens. So we're going to take a look down here then. We're going to use, because we've got 3 stations here, we're going to use the second one. So we're going to try train tracks. Actually, no, we'll do the stations first. We'll do the stations. So we are doing an above ground train line. That's what we're doing right now. And I think it's above by 2, right? Medium speed, which is the above ground one. High speed, tram, train. That's a depth of -2. This is ground, but I want to be +2 and build our station. So we'll connect that line into this purple one. Use this purple train line here, but we'll then continue to go straight. So we'll have our first stop here in Morris Park and Jamaica. We'll go just there. So this is above ground. So bam, there's our first one there. And we're going to run down here to follow this road to a certain degree because we want it to go across this bridge here. So our next one will be looking like in Kew Gardens. So, or do I go a little bit closer? No, I feel like that one will be perfectly fine. But then again, there is a lot of Now we'll go for one here. There is a lot of people in that kind of catchment radius right there. So we'll drop in one here, then drop in one here. So we are following this road. We've got this elevated line running through. So now we're into Forest Hill Gardens. And again, continue to follow all of this. We'll go just here with this one. And then we'll cut in one just there. And we're going to keep continuing. So just before the big junction here where we have to do something with the train line passing through, you can now see it all kind of ticking along together. It's all slowly coming together. Now, it does get... well, I do want it to cross this, but how we cross it and where we connect it, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Because that train station is right on the junction. But then again, I can just simply go underneath it, pass through, and then connect over. I can have like another stop somewhere around here. So that what makes it quite exciting. I might have the stop just here. So I'll place you just there. And that's where we'll have the stop cutting over. So let's just work slowly backwards right now. And then make our way all the way down. So we'll have another stop just here. As it slightly turns to come along and go here. So these are all above ground stops, by the way. These are all above ground stops, which we're going to bring an above ground stop in through Manhattan for the first time, which is going to be quite exciting. We'll have this cutting across just there. And then Big 6 Fitness is about to get a little stop as well. So they've actually got quite a lot of people. This one got 12,000, 50,000, 80,000, which will reduce when I put this next stop in. There we go. And then we're going to get one in the middle of the both of them in Elmshurst here. There we go. So that's the line of how it's going to run all the way up, as you can now see, into there. And then we'll get to end on maybe the red route. But we'll have a route that kind of crosses over all of these, but I also want another one to go up as well. Now that route that crosses this way will go to LaGuardia Airport as well, which is going to be quite important. So we also need a station that crosses over here. So we'll kind of build this like that. So it's all kind of connected to the same station. They can kind of transfer between one and the other. And then I got another option as well. As a case of, I know that goes underground, but do we create our own train bridge to go over to this side? And maybe slowly start to go up in that direction. We'll probably, do you know what, we'll terminate it in Ridgefield here. So there's not that many passengers that will collect there, but it's enough to make a little bit of a difference. So we'll throw in one just there. We'll then kind of come along down just here. We'll then move the next one just to here. And I think what we should do is just... that's going to go up to there. We'll create a cross here. So this is really now fully, literally taking Manhattan into our own hands. So if that kind of came across, we'll have a station just there. Where it crosses over to. And then eventually when we have one going in New Jersey, going up this side, it will cross all those lines as well. So starts there, ends at JFK. And it crosses a lot of these lines as well, which makes it even more important. So that's 92 million just in just in stations alone. So let's try and connect these all up then. So in reality, we shouldn't really have any issues because at the end of the day, it's all going to be elevated over the kind of the road. So down and in. And we're going to try and, to a certain degree, try and follow some line that kind of makes sense. Now, this is going to be the interesting one. This is now got to be a big bridge that goes over. Or I could have made it turn. I could do it like this. There's nothing stopping me doing it like this and then in. A little turn in. I'm up to 105 milli already. Now, this is the difficult one because now we're treating New York as if it was Chicago and running elevated train lines through the downtown city kind of feel vibed area. So we'll cut up to there and then go in. This is going to run alongside the actual bridge that we've got going across. And then some of these are straight connections, which make it a lot easier. Some not so much. So that's a straight connection there. Another straight connection here. So I'm up to 122 milli and slowly climbing. Right, in we go. So cutting over. So I'm hoping there's going to be no issues with all of these as well. I'm hoping we're going to be okay. So bending you down. Where does it connect in? Just this way. And in. Down. And in. And cutting across. Bam, bam, bam. And down. Now this one straight down to here. And then we're going to come to the connection of the purple root. Which we'll try and get in like that. And then that. Oh, apart from here. And connecting in. We're Gucci, baby. We Gucci. So I think for 143 million, which will leave me with less than 100 million remaining, I can build this ridiculous length of line. So build all of this. That's now all in place. And look at it. From, what was it called? Sorry, it was called Ridgefield all the way down to JFK. Now again, we're going to have a line that kind of cuts through all of this through middle bit here. So again, everyone can transfer. You want to get from here down to here. You can transfer that line and go down. So that's what we're always thinking of the future and where we can kind of head with this. But that is a ridiculous line, isn't it? It is a crazy line. So it's all connected then. It's going to add the line actually now onto it. So create a new line. And we need to now add some stations. So we start in, how do I do the stations? Oh, hang on, stops. So we'll make it start in Ridgefield and work our way down. We'll actually make it a yellow line as well, just for something a little bit different. And this now, providing we did this all correct, we should have no issues. So he's going to cross across Manhattan, elevated by the way, which is quite exciting in reality, because we've done all subways over there. So it is quite interesting, boys. All the way down to there. To make sure we get on the correct platform, which is here. And now we head back in the same direction to finalize this loop. So keep going, boys. Keep going. So bam, 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 bam. In we go. Cutting through. Sweet, mate. Sweet. And it will end there. So I'm going to add it in myself. It would do it itself anyway. So that is 58 kilometers, 42 stops. And I'm going to charge $3. There we go. So we'll keep the service open as a passenger line. And, we need to give it a name as well. So this is going to JFK, isn't it? So we've already got our JFK West line. This is going to be our, what do I call this one? JFK New Jersey line. That's what we can call it. JFK New Jersey, boys. That's what we'll call it there. So I need to add some trains to it. And which ones have we been kind of utilizing lately? It's been these ones, hasn't it? Yeah. Which are only 2.3 million a pop. So I could buy. Now it is quite a big line. So I reckon we spend 40. We buy 14 trains for it. Does that seem like a lot? To me, it doesn't. It means they're going to come more frequently than ever. So that will kind of work out fairly well. So they're all now thrown on. I mean, the green line has 14. So, you know, it's not unheard of. And I feel like this line is as long as it. So let's have a little fast forward then. I'll kind of pull it into super fast forward mode. So we got the trains rocking and rolling right now. Now, are we seeing any refunds is the big question on the green and yellow lines. We're getting a few, but I wouldn't say it's nowhere near the amount we're getting on the other routes. You know what I mean? We're still getting some, but I don't know what constitutes a refund. That's still what I don't get. It's still what I don't get. But yeah, it's all glorious. It all does what it's got to do. Everyone's going to and from right now. We're going to get refunds no matter what anyway. But it's a case of how much do you want to charge people to get said refund. But that's a really good route. I'm actually quite happy with that route. I'm actually quite happy with it. So we'll also then start thinking about another one that goes up. So I've got the option to also tear through the yellow line and then turn off to go up to Queens over into the Bronx to maybe kind of terminate somewhere. I can actually make it terminate here. So it picks up these lines as well. Or just literally just terminate in the Bronx somewhere and then eventually connect all these lines up. It's a bit of an interesting one, isn't it? I might actually just make it kind of stop in the... No, I do want it to go into the Bronx, but I know it's going to be so expensive to build that route. If I use this here and then turn off there, at least I ain't going to pay for any of this. This has all been built. It's all paid for, boys. It's all paid for. So that makes it a little bit more interesting, right? It would make it a little bit more interesting. Okay. So let's fast forward then. How quick are we now gaining money? So we are still gaining money pretty quick. That is down to the fact that some of the lines are still $50 for a ticket right now. I'll wait till I got 100 milli, which is just there. And then we'll start building some more stuff. So let's plan out then where this next line's going to go. So back into the tracks, and we're going to go for the elevated station still. And we'll build a station just here. So that'll be the last station before it crosses over utilizing the bridge. So LaGuardia is just over there. And we'll bring another station just here. And where are we going to run this, by the way? So I reckon we should... Right, actually, cancel that one. How do I delete that? Goodbye. Create stations. We're going to go this way instead. So if I go here and then follow this road down. So every so often, throw one in. I'm going to follow this down and then we're going to turn along. No, I'm going to go down there and turn this way. So with that in mind, I'll put a station here. And this is all greenery there. So I reckon we put the station more... Well, what's he going to pick? Actually, it does pick up quite a few people. So I'm going to put it there. Building a train line in the green spaces. That makes sense, doesn't it, Soniac? You noob. Right, one there. We'll do a last one just there. As that turns in to connect to that line. So in reality then, we're just going to switch over. So we'll do one stop here. And then we'll do one stop just there. And that's it. For 58 million, that's it. Obviously, before it crosses over. Before it does cross over. So I reckon here needs a loop. An actual loopy loop. But I'm going to connect that up to the line that comes up this way. So we will utilize that train station. Because I feel like there's a loop needed in the Bronx to kind of bring all this together. So I'm going to commit to that, and that's as far as I'm going to make that line actually stretch. We just now need to connect some train lines up to it. So bending this right down, making it go for a high school, because that makes so much sense. All right, there we go. And then bringing this up, connect you in. So we're going to bend this right down and in. Now, where's this connection going? So we'll try and follow you, cross over, and then in. Some of these will be quite easy, like straight bits that we don't need to worry about. Very good, sir. Very good. In. Right, keep it going. And then we should come to... Yeah, there we go. Basically, we should come to an end soon. 11 milli. Done. Build. Beautiful. So that's now in. Oh, no, wait. We've got to build the track here to connect in as well. So my option is to make it kind of connect a little bit further up. Just kind of keep away from it. We'll do that. And there we go. Now we connected in. So it's going to end just there, which is completely fine. It goes through Queens a little bit. Again, I keep saying we have a line that goes up this way to LaGuardia and then kind of ends there. And then that line, that bit of train track it creates there, that kind of comes up to end at this kind of line, will create a loop that cuts through all of this around the Bronx. And it's all kind of connected going through. So this is going to be so connected, like ridiculously connected. Ridiculously connected right now. So, okay, let's get that new line set up then. So another new line, and we're going to start, we'll make it start in JFK this time. So that direction, and then we're going up, 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 and then we turn off. So now we're going bam, 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 up, 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 and then back down. Why can't I select that? There we go. For a second there, I was getting slightly worried that we're going to have some slight issues. And I think we might have some slight issues. We've got the public school, Junior, Whitestone, Malibu. Whitestone. Malaba. Malba, not Malibu. Right. Boom. Boom. Right, it's a little bit difficult to try and select these now. What's going on, boys? What's going on here? Right, all the way back down. And it will end just there anyway. So change the colour of that line anyway. So what do we go with? Something a little bit more... This is the thing right now. We can pretty much do any colour because as the more we come away, we could technically go back to red. But I might go for like a slight orangey colour. There we go. And, oh, we got an issue on it. Is it because it's closed? Yeah. So this is our, so we'll call this our JFK Northern, hang on, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it the right way around. JFK Northern Line, because we're kind of slightly heading towards north. We'll kind of make it like that. JFK NL Northern Line. Charge 3 big ones, and obviously we'll buy some trains for it. So 14, not that much. We'll go 8 for 19 million. There we go. So I want to fast forward now then. Just give it a little bit of time to circulate these brand new trains in, while also gaining us some sweet, sweet cash money moolah. And how we looking? So there we go. This train network is getting quite vast, isn't it? It is starting to get quite vast. Now, I can see that we are getting less refunds on the lines that are a lot cheaper. I can see this. But if I reduce all the lines to like $3 a pop, I'm not going to be making as much money as I am right now to pay for these future expansions. That's the only downside. You know what I mean? That is the only downside at this point. Yeah. So it is a tough one. It is a tough one to decide what to kind of do. But yeah, it is going to be quite interesting to see how we kind of progress with this and where we take it. But I want to get that line cutting through up here right now, which would be quite expensive because it's only going to be, it's not utilizing any existing train line. It's a brand new one. It's just stations being built over the current stations for Crissy Crossies. This one will utilize some of it, but not a lot of it. Hold on. We have a collision. Where was the collision? The message just disappeared on me instantly. We had a collision somewhere and I have no idea where. How are trains colliding right now? I didn't know trains could collide. Well, that's definitely not good, is it? If trains can collide right now, that's definitely not good. Oh, good God. It's going to be like that, isn't it? It's going to be like that. Right, anyway, we've had some fast forwards now. If we don't see it, it didn't happen, right, guys? Right? Okay, so let's plan out this line. It's going to now connect all of these through the middle. which is going to make it even more connected. So what we'll do, we'll first build the important train stations. Now, this is elevated here. I don't know whether to turn this into a subway for a change. Now, I know they're expensive, but this is all elevated. I don't want to put elevated on top of elevated, even though that is possible. But then again, that line there's on the ground. There's nothing stopping me doing the ground. But then you got to follow the road lines and stuff like that. So I might go by a depth of 1 to build a station. So if I come across here then, just to interact with and utilize that station there, we'll cut across that one, and then we'll cut across this one underground, and then we'll utilize this station here. So these are all underground, so I ain't got to worry too much. Now I want to head into JFK, so I might turn this slightly to go through here to bring us in to JFK, which will put the subway station on the actual airport itself, and then we'll get it to actually go into that line there, because I also want to use this as the swooping through. So we'll add a subway. Right, cancel that one. We'll add a subway stop just there, which picks up 20,000 people, and then this one here will pick up a 28,000 people to kind of continue in. That's coming from this direction, so it's a case of running this way. There's a spot here I can utilize, which will go just there, and then we'll cross over like that to kind of cut in as that bends round. It's a bit awkward, but it will make sense. It will make sense. So Ridgewood here, we're going to go... Is this a second Ridgewood? Did I do another Ridgewood earlier? Right, we're kind of slightly staggering this in. We're kind of slightly staggering it all in now. It's going to like be bendy lines. Run to there. And then we're going to run up here. We're going to kind of slightly go down here and then end it with a line like that. Now, even though the stations crisscross over, it's like the entries are on the corner of junctions to walk down to it. That's kind of how it works. So just there, and we'll add in a last one just there. And obviously we want one to go across here, so we'll add in one just there, and we'll bring it into Concord here. So just there, and end it like that, because then we can do a loop within Staten Island. So that is 152 million. Now, the reason that's so expensive is because now all of a sudden it's all underground, right? It's now all underground, which means we're now paying for the tunnels. Very expensive. But it's a lot easier to get people transported. You know, it's not the end of the world, guys. We can do this right now. Look, we've almost got the money in question. We just got to wait for the rush hour every morning. And just like that, boys, we just got millions of dollars coming into our bank account. Right, so build it. And now we get to build the tracks. So the tracks shouldn't be any issues because it's all underground, like I keep saying. Bend this round, and then we're going to go straight across, and we'll lead it to there where it bends in. So here it kind of slightly turns away to then bend it. This is straight across, and then almost straight across. Now this is where the fun now begins. This is where we now need to start doing a little bit of magic. There we go. Nice little bend there. That can be straight. That can be straight-ish. Bam, there we go. In. in. In we go. Nice. Bend this in. Right, straight there. Right, straight across. No beating around the bush. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit juicy. So we'll cross it into here, but we now need it to connect to this line there. So that there is the trailing connection. But as you notice, it goes a little bit funky there. It does go a little bit funky. So select you and delete you. Select you and delete you. It does go a little bit funky. So we're going to have to come off this here. And connect up. Now that is connected. So it goes from underground to then here, overground. That's the best way to put it. So I know it zigzags through quite ridiculously in some of these parts, but it's more the catchment radiuses that we're trying to kind of collect on them. And it's all set up for future loops as well. That's the important bit. So let's build this then for the 50 million. Bam. You can now see the line coming slowly together. We'll create said line, and then buying the trains, that's a different story because how expensive it's going to be. So here, there. All right, run this all the way through. So this line here probably crosses more lines than any other train line that we've currently built so far. It does cross quite a lot, which makes it a vital main route. It's like a link line, isn't it? That's what it does. Right, going up. And there's still going to be more lines that do connect to it as well, which makes it even more important. So into there. And now we're pretty much heading back. Now, already, this line is 74 kilometers long. It just goes to show the sheer length and how vital this route is going to be. This could be possibly one of the most busiest lines that we've got so far for the company. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm being absolutely serious right now. Right, there we go. Into here, and it will terminate there. So we'll change the color of this now. We'll go for like a... Is a darker grey look alright? How does that look? Put it on passenger. That doesn't look too bad, the darker route. That'd be quite interesting to see these trains going back and forth on it. So I'm going to call this our city. I'm going to call it our city. What's going on here with my capitals? My button broke. City link line. Call it the CLL for short. CLL. Base price 3 big ones again. And then we need to buy some trains for it. So we're going to need quite a few trains. It's quite a long line, which means it takes longer for them to complete a full loop. So I reckon I'm going to go for the first time ever 20 trains on that line. Problem is, I don't have the 40-odd million needed to be able to pay for them, which with a little bit of fast forwarding doesn't take too long. So 20 trains. Now let's see these all come together. So fast forward again, and you can now see all the trains on board. Oh my goodness me, this looks so good. Look at how interconnected we now are. We're so interconnected right now. And I think it looks pretty good having the darker grey colour for the line. I don't know why, but it makes it look realistic. Really weird, isn't it? But yeah, everything's all intertwined is the best way to put it. So this connection here to there, if I continue it up, round, down, here, turn off, across there and in, I've got a little bit of a northern loop. which connects the red, the blue, the black, and the orange loop into the Bronx and back and forth, which if you're here and want to get down to here, you've got to go all the way down, cross, bam, up, in. So it just makes sense now to create this little looped line. So we'll get the station, in place. So create stations. Now this is all below ground. I'm actually going to go to ground on this. Or do I? No, we'll go... So there is a station here, which I think it would be quite cool to come off that. So bend round so we can have a stop there and then continue again. Now this is... Oh, do you know what? No, we'll make it go below ground because we're below ground in Manhattan. So we'll have a stop here. Then one last stop just there. So it picks up a nice radius of people. Very good. We'll have a stop on here. What's this island here called anyway? I'm not sure, but we'll have a stop just there, which picks up a few people, not many. Oh, hold on. I need to delete that. That's in the wrong position. Why can't I select? Oh, I'm on the wrong selecting tool. It's in the wrong position there. It needed to go here. Actually, cancel that. We'll move it up a bit more. We'll put it here. Picked up a few more people. As it will then turn to go in. Goes for all of this. Now, all it's doing is becoming a loop for us. That's all it's doing. So we'll bring it up. And then we'll make it go across. So it comes into there. We'll make it go across to here. Into here. To there. This is a zoo, by the way. The Bronx Zoo. Interesting. There. 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 And then we're coming back down now at this point. There. And then in the middle of them both. There. So that's all it does. We'll intertwine more roots cutting through eventually, but we can kind of set the loop up and then pass additional roots through. I might change this blue one to go straight up, or maybe just kind of create a new route that comes off it. I don't know, because that blue one does run along the same side for a little bit, but you kind of miss the interconnectivity. Between the line that runs here. Crisscrossing station. That's all you need to say. So what I'll do as well, I'm going to put another station just there, because I can see that blue one crossing over, cutting through here and stopping a little bit further up. Right, 63 million to build those stations. I know what you're thinking. Damn. I've got to have spent close to $500 million this episode already. I've got to have spent close to $500 million, right? I just feel like it's just disappearing out my pockets as quick as I make it. We'll make this go up to 100 million in the bank. Right, there we go. And we'll commit to that build. And then we'll go to our tracks. So let's sort this out then. So I reckon we should always connect off something like this first. So we'll go down to there and then we'll bend it, which the station is just here. So we'll have our own straight connection there, straight over, up and in. There we go. All connected. Very good, sir. Very good. So then we're going straight across this section here. Nice. And up. And up. In. In. There we go. Bam. Round. And then we're going to go across this bridge to complete this loop, which I can see that eventually being a Y junction. So that completes that there, which is 39 million. We'll build that now. We'll commit to it. And it's all an underground route as well. So we're going back from the overpasses in Brooklyn and Queens to the subway metro style into the Bronx, back into Manhattan. Now, it's a nice little loop, but I can see us changing this blue line. I can see it happening. But I won't do it just yet. We'll get our new line up and running. So for the first time ever then, this is actually going to be a loop, like an actual loop. Create a new line then. So we could have one on both sides in reality, couldn't we? We could have this on both sides. Alright, all the way down. So I wonder what the length is of this then, because it does cover a little bit of distance. I ain't gonna lie to you. It does slightly cover some distance. It's 39 kilometers. So where does it start, by the way? There. So there's your end one. There you go. So it's on the right hand side. So if I kept that like that and call it our well, it goes to the Bronx. I'm gonna call it the Bronx this is Bronx clockwise loop. That's what we'll call it. So we call it the Bronx clockwise loop. Open it up. And we'll throw a couple of trains on there as well. Don't need 20. Because we're going to have them going back the opposite way. We'll do 8. Okay. And then we'll do another new line. But it goes the opposite way. It will then go the opposite way. So it will be the counter-clockwise loop. Alright, there we go. So it's got to the point right now where it makes more sense to go around the whole loop than anything else. Bam, bam. And we're done. So this is passenger service. So this is the Bronx counterclockwise loop. So Bronx counterclockwise loop. And this one is also going to be free. And we'll buy the same amount of trains for that as well. 8. Nice. Trains for days going everywhere. So fast forward that then. Let it settle itself down a little bit. And just look at the chaos now going on. You can't tell me that is not a good little train network we've got now set up, right? The chaos that is ensuing. Wow, we got so many refunds. But that's okay. Now, what's important is you see the amount of passengers waiting at the crisscrossy stops. That's quite fun to see. It is quite fun to see the crisscrossy stops looking slightly busier than usual. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely loving it right now. Liking the brand new stops at the bottom of Central Park as well. So yeah, that blue route here will eventually cut through into the Bronx, heading more up north. But we're coming to the point right now where we're covering the main part of New York. And then, are we going to start slightly expanding outside of New York? My question to you guys is, do I continue to expand outside of New York? Or do I, now this is big, this is absolutely big right now. Do I create a grand central train station, right, that then takes people from New York to another city. Because we have the free reign to build wherever we like in the world. Now, where's the next city that makes the most sense? Maybe heading down to Philadelphia on an express route? Stopping off, maybe one or couple of two stops in some of the towns on the way down to Philadelphia, which then might eventually head all the way down to Baltimore and then terminate in Washington, D.C. What do you think of that, boys? We've got the money makers right now all set up. So what about we turn all of this into express routes to other cities? Now Seniac's tickling my pickle. Guys, we're going to end it here anyway. I hope you did enjoy this episode. There's a lot going on right now. A lot of interconnectivity is the best way to put it. If you did enjoy this, please smash that like button down below. But until next time, guys, I will see you all soon. So goodbye.